My name is Rafael Musni. I happen to be the president of the PAEC Coalition, the Performing Arts Education Coalition, and that is an association of people interested in making sure that this building is built with the money that we have already paid and will be paying for some time, regardless of whether the building gets built. We still owe the principal and the interest. That's just the way loans work. But I'd like to introduce to you Doug Tom. So he is a partner at Tom Elliott & Fish architectural firm. He has put many hours. It's not just drawing a couple of pictures and then sending it to a computer and suddenly it's built. No, it is thinking work, probably the hardest work that people can do. So I would like to introduce to you Doug Tom, the architect that designed this building.
It's a real pleasure to be here. We first started working on this project in 2004, and I was just thinking here a minute ago, if it had been the normal course of events of any project that we have worked on, we got a permit in 2008, you would have occupied this building for almost 5 years by now. And so I'm really happy to be here to hopefully regenerate this terrific building. He mentioned a few moments ago that there's a big team, and I just want to honor the rest of the team that worked on this. First off, Tom Elliott & Fish, a San Francisco firm, was partnered with a firm out of Seattle, LMN Architects, who specializes in performing arts centers around the world, and recently won a national American Institute of Architect Awards for a project in Canada. In addition to LMN and ourselves, we had a huge team of engineers and consultants. There were about 25 other firms involved, and with multiple people in each firm. So, we're talking about hundreds of people who were involved in this project. So I just want to quickly take you through some images. There's some of them that have been printed on boards that surround the stage, but up on the screen, we're going to just sort of walk through so you get a little familiar with the context of the building. Patrick? So here's the rendering from a bird's eye view, somewhere about a little west of where we are right now, above Phelan. Hey, Patrick. So our work really started with working with the campus on what it would be like to expand the campus to the west of Phelan Avenue. You have to remember, in 2004, this was a reservoir. It wasn't even a parking lot yet, let alone the multi-use building, the MUB, that's there now. And so we were tasked with planning the whole west side of Phelan, really what the collection of buildings that was envisioned at that time, which included the MUB, included the Performing Arts Center, and an advanced technology building to the north of the Performing Arts Center. So we thought that that the expansion needed to somehow unify the buildings that existed and the landscape that existed on the east side of Phelan. And so you'll see that big green oval in the center was meant to be a gesture towards unifying both sides of the old campus and the new campus together, with the axis of the center of the main historic building right on axis with the Performing Arts Center. Next. It's really hard to read from where you are, but it's basically a two-story building. The lower drawing is the ground floor. And you can see just along the bottom a beige-colored horizontal line. That we call the concourse. That was the public way to connect through the building. All the major uses of the building lived off of that street, if you will. And it was a way, because in this inclement weather that we have out at City College, a way for students and faculty and staff to circulate inside the building when it was inclement. The large rectangle on the left is the large recital or large performance hall, 650 seats with a proscenium arch. with a fly tower and all the bells and whistles for performances, every kind of performance you can imagine. Then towards the center, there's a gray box that's a 200-seat recital hall specifically for music. Is that the theater? That's the black box theater. I'm sorry, that's the black box theater. And then the one on the right, you can see the sort of pink. That's the recital hall. So the black box theater is about 150 seats, and it's a multi-use flat floor, painted all black. You can reconfigure it in any way you could imagine for all sorts of different performances. And then surrounding it are, in the back, on the top of the drawing, would be green rooms, tech spaces, and as well as some other faculty and classroom kinds of spaces. There are several classrooms in this building that can be doubled as rehearsal rooms and practice rooms of all sorts. And then the top floor, sort of in the middle with the red, are practice rooms, and then up to the upper right corner are faculty offices. Next. This building also is striving to be a very green building, very sustainable building. The goal was LEED Gold. If you're familiar with that terminology, it's a way of identifying how green buildings are through LEED, which is Leadership in Environmental Education and Design. And you don't get the certification until the building's built, because part of that also is what a contractor does during construction. It has anticipated to have a green roof on top. If you've been to the Academy of Science, you've seen the green roof there. We were intending to have a green roof in this building. Very energy efficient for mechanical systems, so it's not sucking energy for heating and cooling. There's a lot of natural ventilation that's involved. Very efficient lighting systems. Fully ADA accessible, if you know what that term is. American with Disabilities Act. It's a way for making the building accessible for people to remove all barriers for people with disabilities of all sorts, not just wheelchairs. Next. This is a rendering of the main theater. As I said, it's 650 seats. Again, has ADA accessibility, so people in wheelchairs can be seated just like any other viewer for a performance in all different places in the theater. So they're not just relegated to the rear or to the front, or they're dispersed throughout the theater. This is another shot from the stage back towards the theater. This is a rendering of the recital hall itself. It's about 200 seats. This was designed by all the performance rooms. The design was aided by a well-known theater and acoustic engineer, both here in San Francisco and in Connecticut. And next to last, this is a rendering of that main concourse that I explained to you before. There's places for students and faculty and staff to gather in a sort of step seating off the concourse. There's classrooms that are on both sides of the concourse, as well as things like toilet rooms that people would go to during performances. And lastly, this is the night shot of from about the front of the MUB, and you can see the fly tower in the back. So we were and are continuing to be very excited about this project. We think it's already won a couple of design awards, even though it's unbuilt. So imagine if it got built. Yeah, if you go, I'm sorry that the slides show very small from where you are. There's parking all around the building. And then the back part of the reservoir, which is the west side, that's lower,
Yeah.
it stays.
Well, I can remark parking.
I believe so.
City's not-
At least at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any others?
I just want to go back, that question on parking is a very big issue here, because there's another thing going on with this building, and that is that the city wants to build on the lower lots. We all know what I'm talking about, the lower lots, that back parking lot called the lower reservoir. That's a piece of property owned by the PUC. It's not owned by the school. The PUC, through the city, through the mayor's office, wants to develop that for units. They are already well into phase 2, is that correct? It's all over their website. And so it's important that all of us, be in touch with the administration of this school. Their emails are well known, they're published on the website, and just say, we want to hold on to that property, because if we build, just so we're clear, this absolutely stunning facility that Doug is telling us about is a sister building to the MUB. We all know the MUB, right? It's a sister building because all this substructure is built on there. These two have to be near each other. And if we build the PAC, we obviously take out parking spots. And if we take out parking spots, we really rely on the parking spots of that lower lot. And if that lower lot is moved, unless they're building underground parking or something else, it could be very difficult to build this. And so, what do we ever have? We only have our voice. And if we have our voice, we have to go out, we have to make ourselves heard. If we only come here today, walk out of here and go to social studies, the whole thing dies. You have to be active, you have to say what you want, you have to let people know what you want. We're watching these months and months, things happen on our street, people get out and protest, they say what's important to them. I cannot emphasize to you enough the importance of saying what you believe in. Whether it's the Performing Arts Center or whatever it is, say what you believe in. I hope you're interested in Performing Arts Center, because that parking, and that happens to that property, is very much a big deal. And if this building ever gets done, it'll have to happen with parking to be done properly, meaning that other lot not sold or some new sort of parking put in. So I just wanted to add that so you really understand some of the forces that are going on here.